Welcome back to another Bellows Blades review. Today we're going to be looking at a knife that I'm kind of excited about. The first time I saw this knife, it just really jumped out at me. I love the aesthetics of this knife. I love the way that it all comes together, all the various elements, specifically the model that we're looking at today. And today what we're looking at is the Civivi Vision FG. Specifically, we're looking at the model with the Ivory G10 handle scales and the Damascus blade. Couple things jump out at you right away. I think this whole color scheme of this design really pops. I really like it. So you've got the white or ivory handle scales, and then you've got kind of the Damascus style blade. So you've got that darker, kind of the darker blade that just stands out and really pops against the lighter handle scales. I really like that. Additionally, there's some other features about this knife that just make it unique, and we're going to go into all that. But first, let's just look at a couple of the specs on this knife. So as far as length goes, this is a 3.54-inch Damascus blade. You can see that it kind of has that almost like Warncliffe style blade where it kind of has a little bit of a belly and then drops down to a point, almost like a reverse Tonto style blade. Similar to a sheep's foot, but a really popular design recently, those style of knife blades. And this one I think looks really sharp. And then additionally, this knife comes in at an overall length of 7.95 inches, so just a little under 8 inches, a little over 3.5 on the blade. So it's a really good size knife for an EDC or everyday carry knife. I think one of the other things that really just jumps out immediately about this knife is the locking mechanism. So this has what Civivi is calling their Superlock. And basically it's very similar to kind of the Shark Lock that Demco came out with. Similar design, similar idea. I think there's a little bit of difference in the mechanics of it, but it definitely brings that to mind. And you can see it's a lock that rides here right on the spine of the knife. And basically, when you pull back on that lock, the blade just drops free. And you can see how well it drops. In fact, it's almost easier to use the lock to open and close and not even worry about the thumb stud. But it definitely, this knife has really smooth action. You know, if you're somebody who likes a fidgety knife, this will do it for you. And whether you open it just by using the lock or the thumb stud, it just snaps open with authority. So very good feeling in the hand, very good opening, super smooth, which of course you come to expect with the Civivis. Just they have really good build quality, and so that feels really good in the hand. The Superlock, I'm really a fan of it. Just with the little bit of exposure that I've had to it, it just feels so good. It's so easy to engage, disengage, and like I said, I just think that it works really well from what little experience I've had with it so far. The knife itself comes in weight-wise at 4.35 ounces. So, you know, it's not a ultralight, but it's also not all that heavy. You know, it's a pretty decent feeling weight in the hand. Enough that it doesn't feel cheaply made, but not so much that it's going to be heavy in your pocket. And as far as just kind of some size comparisons, I know we mentioned the overall length, but just to give you an idea against some other common knives, there you've got your Paramilitary 2, and here you've got your Benchmade Griptilian. So those are two well-known knives that you can kind of compare it against. You can see that it's just a hair shorter than either of those knives, but really pretty comparable as far as the size. So the other thing that you're going to notice about the knife is that it does have a deep carry pocket clip, and it is reversible for left or right hand carry, but you can only carry this knife tip up, so it does not have a tip down carry option if you're somebody who prefers that method of carry. So basically, the features that stand out I've already kind of gone over. You've got the lock, you've got the aesthetics. This model does come in some other handle and variations on the steel. Basically, it comes with a plain Nitro V steel blade and then different handle, G10 handle colors. But I really like this particular model, probably the best out of all of them. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about is Civivi just lists this as a Damascus steel blade. The truth is it's Damascus clad. It's more like a San Mai style with Damascus cladding on the outside. You can see there, I don't know that I'll be able to get this to focus that well. There we go. You can see there that you've got the Damascus on the outside edges, and then you've got a coarse steel there running down the middle of the blade. And that's what you see coming out here when you're looking at this darker spot under where all the Damascus is. You've got this spot here. That's your coarse steel. If I had to guess, and I wasn't able to locate this online, but if I had to guess, that coarse steel is probably Nitro V, based on the fact that that's what is used in all the other models of this knife. And Civivi is starting to use that blade steel more and more frequently in their knives. So if I had to guess, that's what I would say it is. But guys, this is just a real quick review. I mean, this model right now, you can pick it up for $99, which really is not a bad price considering what you're getting. In my opinion, maybe it's slightly overpriced, but that's kind of nitpicky. I think it's a fair price for what you're getting, especially with the Damascus model. If you get the plain models, they're running right around $78 at the time that I posted the video, or made the video here. And I feel like for 78 bucks, for the extra $20, if nothing else for the looks alone, I'd rather go for the Damascus. I just like the aesthetic value of this knife so much more than the plain Nitro V knives. So that's kind of just my opinion on which model I think looks best. Definitely this one. But guys, this is just a really fun knife. It's extremely fidgety, extremely smooth, razor sharp. It's got that kind of unique Wharncliffe or sheep's foot style blade. So if that's something that you're into, you know, it benefits from that. It feels good in the hand. It's a little kind of thin and flat for me. You know, if you were doing real heavy work, you're probably going to get some hot spots here from the deep carry pocket clip where it just rides in the hand and kind of rubs here. But, you know, that's a problem with all knives that are kind of designed this way. It's not like it's unique to this knife. Otherwise, though, the ergonomics feel fine. And if you've ever had a Civivi, you kind of know what you're getting from the build quality perspective. If you've never had one, they just feel like a much more expensive knife in the hand. This thing has full stainless steel liners, you know, the G10 handle scales. You're getting a decent amount of knife for the price. And so if you guys haven't had a chance to check one of these out and get them in your hands, I think you'd be very pleased once you get it in your hand. Just feels really good. I really like that Superlock. I think Civivi's on the right path there. I hope to start seeing that in more of their knives because I really like it, guys. But anyway, once again, this has been the Civivi Vision FG. Great little knife. You can pick this model up right now for around $99. And if this thing appeals to you, I'd suggest you do that. Thanks so much for watching the video, and go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you're willing to do that. It always helps out. Thanks, guys.